the Legend of Zelda tournament. This is the quarterfinals. We are down now to 7 competitors. JSR already advanced to the semifinals. RandomEffekt, the number 2 seed, up against jkoper, the 7 seed. Chalk all advancing in the previous round. RandomEffekt is the higher seed, getting to make the first category choice, and he chose 100% Noah A to go first. And if you look at the leaderboards for this category, RandomEffekt 6th place in the world with a time of 36 minutes 31 seconds. jkoper in 13th place with a time of 38 minutes 36 seconds. So a 2-minute advantage in PBs for RandomEffekt.
Yeah, you're seeing these runners are practicing their screen scrolls, getting things all set and ready to go. So 100% no up and A. Well, we already know that this is going to be the longer of the category, or it should be the longer of the categories for these runners. And that's because we got to go get most of the stuff.
Yes. Any item that cannot be upgraded to a better item or used/lost must be collected. So that, it cuts out things like you don't have to buy keys. You have to get the magic key. You don't have to get the regular boomerang. You just have to get the magic boomerang. You don't have to get the blue candle. You only have to get the red candle.
That's correct, and we are off and running. So both of these runners are going to start with the A3 first route, and therefore they're going to be trying to head inside to collect some bombs off the Dark Nuts and head their way over towards the first item of the game.
Yep, the first of many bomb collections in this run.
Yeah, this is one of the critical points here to see whether or not you're going to have a decent amount of luck going in here, because you want to get to these Dark Nuts and you want to try to get a bomb drop off these guys. If you don't, you're going to kill this entire room in order to get the room drop, which is a pack of bombs, 4 bombs. But it looks like we have a little bit of luck here for RandomEffekt. jkoper's going to have to kill all the Dark Nuts to get the room drop in. Going to have to be careful in regards to his health, down to 1.5 hearts.
Yeah, indeed. But I was, as soon as you went into detail about killing the Dark Nuts, I just knew one of them was going to take a different route in here, but they didn't. RandomEffekt, it paid off for him, and you see out to an early 2-ish screen lead, although this room right here can be really hateful.
There's a lot of rooms in Zelda 1 that can be really, really hateful. jkoper's getting a heart, and that is going to be very good because you don't want to be down to a heart as you head through some of these rooms, because Dark Nuts, they do 1 heart of damage. The boss of this level also does 1 heart of damage. That will be Manhandla, and he can destroy a run really fast.
Yeah, he has destroyed my heart of damage many, many times. jkoper, knowing his counts, gets a nice bomb drop there and a heart, so he's back at full health and only about a room and a half behind now. So, good catch-up moment for him. He'll have at least 1 extra bomb to work with on Manhandla if things get crazy.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Manhandla, you're going to be seeing him try to get, or both of these runners try to get the bullseye right here. RandomEffekt does not, but gets it on the 2nd attempt. jkoper doesn't get it either, and Manhandla is starting to move around, not giving jkoper an inch, and he's going to have to be careful. Don't a heart. No, he takes the death.
Oh, Manhandla. Once he started doing that lateral movement there, it gets hard to move in on him in those situations.
So it must be pointed out that the rules in no up and A, as far as tournament is concerned, or SRL races are concerned, you must touch up in that dungeon room, but you don't have to do it immediately. At some point in time, you have to touch up in that room. So jkoper's going to say no to that dungeon. He's going to come back later, because you see that number next to his bomb count, 1. He has to go all the way back to Manhandla, and the Dark Nuts will be back, but the room drop will not.
Yeah, so no guaranteed bombs without doing a much more extensive scouring of level 3, so he's going to move on and try to accomplish something here in level 4 in the meantime.
Looks like RandomEffekt is trying to set up a count by trying to kill some of the buyers. gets the Zol, barely gets the Zol. jkoper down to 1.5 hearts already, and he's gonna have to be careful because he's dealing 1 heart less because he did not kill that manhandler. Because there's going to be a nice little boss at the end of this level that also likes to destroy early hearts.
Yes. Probably the primary choke point of when people think they might be doing well in a run. Good old Gliok.
Yeah, and at this point, jkoper only has 1 heart to give to Gliok at this point. We'll see how that goes. Maybe he might get himself a heart drop somewhere down the road, but it looks like he's more concentrated on getting some bombs. We'll see how if he can't get a little bit of health out of the fire room coming up towards the end of this level 4. Both of these runners getting the ladder. That's going to be important for the next stage of this run.
Yeah, I'm not sure, he's probably going to continue to be focusing on bombs, though. So, heart drops would be just kind of candy on top, as opposed to something he was actively working towards.
Well, he's not going to be actively...
I hope he gets them.
I was going to say, he's not going to actively be going for it, but there still could be random drops, because the bomb dropping group, they can drop hearts in 3 of the slots. That's on the global counter, the number 5, the number 9, and number 10, or rather 0 slots.
Random just got them all to drop bombs. He got 3 bomb drops, I think, in that room, so he had a forced on 10 and both the globals. That's pretty good work. And jkoper gets
does
get a heart.
Yeah, he does get a heart. That is very important. Again, the Gliok fireballs does 1 heart damage. Gliok's body does 3/8 damage. And RandomEffekt is out of this level 4. jkoper gets hit, now down to 1/2 of a heart, and it's gonna have to be careful trying to get the last swings on this. Hopefully no double KO. Gets him! Oh!
Oh, that floating Gliok head was mighty close. But,
and he must have...
You notice that jkoper, early on in that fight, was very much in control, but as soon as he got hit once, things started to turn sour. That's what Gliok will do to you. You get off that rhythm, and you start letting him shoot those fireballs off left and right.
That's one of those instances where it pays to know where you are as far as many hits that you have done to Gliok. It takes 16 hits with that wood sword to kill off. Now we're going to see these runners that are going to do this world wrap right now to pick up the heart containers both here and then over in the raft area. They're going to make their way over to level 2. That's the next stop here on this 100% no up and A route.
Yeah, a little bit of a deviation from what you're used to seeing, especially considering they start with levels 3 and 4. It's starting to feel like every other Zelda run you've ever seen. And then things take a turn to the coast. Level 2, a fun level. It's a level that everyone can finish, but very few people can finish efficiently. But it is known for giving bombs, which is always useful.
Well, it's important for getting some bombs, but the reason why too is that easy dungeon that seems easy but really isn't, is because you could be bleeding time in level 2, and it could be just for various reasons beyond your control.
Well, absolutely. Bad patterns with the ropes. I mean, a room of ropes can go super fast, or you can find yourself chasing them all over the place. You just gotta be careful about, where you're standing and, not picking up a clock until you've cleared them all like Random did.
So jkoper making his way into level 2. Don't forget, jkoper still has to touch up in level 3 and kill that manhandler before the run is done. So it may seem like this run is close between these two, but jkoper's going to be about a minute behind as we end up in this room in level 2. This room with the blue gorillas is where we get the bloomerang.
Yeah. Random made it look super easy, but it is anything but. You need to go in there with, bombs, a little bit of health, and a confident sense of movement around the game.
There's a beginner route that has you going to level 2 as your first dungeon. And that is a choke point for those who are trying to do beginner because you got these blue gorillas. They do 1 heart damage if you touch them, if their bananas touch you as well. And you also have these turrets shooting at you, and it all can go south. And those blue gorillas are 5 HP, so 1 bomb will not take care of them. And if you don't have any bombs, well, you got to sword them down. jkoper forgot something.
Oh, we were talking about it so much that we kind of passed it by. Yeah, and it's especially like it's harder in that earlier route because, like you said, you're going into level 2 and you've only got 3 hearts. 3 hearts can go down pretty fast in a room like this.
And the good thing about it is if you do have bombs, you can use them on those blue gorillas because you get this replenish pack in this room with the keys. So this will put jkoper a little further behind. Don't forget, this is RandomEffekt's choice. jkoper's choice is going to be coming up next in race number 2.
That is correct. He chose, for race number 2, he chose Swordless, for which he built much of his early reputation playing this game on. Others have caught up in the meantime, but jkoper still, to many, and rightfully so, is, you know, quote-unquote, the Swordless guy.
So RandomEffekt's coming up here. He's going to be getting a 100 secret as well as this thing that you see him picking up right now, the letter, which we will not likely see brought into a shop for getting potions. But it is something that you do need to collect here in this 100% category.
That is correct, and it is the one and only way by which you can obtain a potion, because you have to take all the hearts out of the take any one you want caves.
So now that we are done heading through this extra stuff in the overworld, we're going to be heading over to level 5 next. They have 200 rupees, or the RandomEffekt has 200 rupees. We're going to be spending 100 of them in level 5, but we're going to be buying a candle first. Now, you mentioned earlier that we don't need to get things that can be upgraded. However, the candle, it's going to make your routing easier if you collect this now as opposed for waiting for the red candle.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are the other 2 100 secrets in the overworld are both under burn bushes, so you can spend 60 rupees now to have access to 200 rupees quicker. That's 140 rupee net gain. 140 is kind of a magic number in Zelda when it comes to rupees.
So, getting some observation from the people in chat that jkoper forgot to get the 30 secret here, but he's going to collect that now. He is still going to be 1 heart below where RandomEffekt is, and that is, again, because he ended up taking the death in level 3, so he's got to get back to there at some point in time. jkoper remembering that he didn't have the secret, otherwise he would have had some rupee problems, because you got to buy this 100 rupee costing bomb upgrade. It is part of the requirement. You do need to have the max bombs be 16 when you finish this run.
That is correct. That was one of the things I didn't quite get to in the intro because they were so eager to start. That, and then not having to purchase the magic shield, which I assume, I've been given the official explanation. To me, it's because no one wants to have to farm an extra 100 rupees on the overworld.
Yeah, and you don't want to lose it in level 9 to a like either.
That's true. I mean, it would make it a very irritating run. Not that it's not occasionally irritating already.
Like it would be. Like it would be extremely irritating if you ended up losing a 100% run because a like on those 2 rooms heading up north from the Silver Arrows decided that they wanted to munch on your shield.
I, for one, have never gotten caught by a like in either of those rooms, especially not in the last 24 hours. So, I don't know what you're talking about or how that would even be possible.
Now, the good news for RandomEffekt is if he ends up taking the death, his touch-up is going to be 1 room here to the north, but 1 heart, we get to listen to the dangerous beeping sounds.
Yep, this will be a fun run on the back half of level 5. You know, very doable, but you're not getting any, you're not going to find any health drops along the way to help you out.
jkoper not getting a really helpful set from these blue darkness. They're giving him the business at this point. RandomEffekt had a little easier of a set. He lost most of his health on the diamond staircase room.
Oh yeah, he was golden out of the recorder room. Now, fortunately, jkoper did get the bomb count, and he's leaving there with 5 bombs and full health, nothing to sneeze at. But man, bleeding the time in there, as those guys just did not want to line up.
Yeah, this is going to be a case where we're probably going to see RandomEffekt opt to go for the double bombs just to be safe, because you get touched by that dig dogger, you are dead. So he will kill him with the double bombs. He will get on out of this level 5, switch back over to the recorder, and he will be making his way. I believe the next step on this tour will be back to level 4. You're going to flew back to 4, get the secret south of 1, the take any there, and then head into level 1.
That sounds about right. Close to accurate, if not 100%. Get the joke. But yeah, if RandomEffekt is watching, and there's no reason for him not to be, there were 2 options for him in that level 5, and both of them were playing it safe. He was either going to take a death to get his 2 hearts back right at that screen, or he was going to go through it knowing that he was going with the double bombs, like you said, and that's where he wound up, and success was found for him, and he is, like you said, he's going to pick up this heart container first, and then be on his way to level 1.
Yeah, and he's got 41 rupees at this point, so he's going to stop over here southeast of 1, pick up this secret as well, because you're going to want to get 100 rupees out of here. And there are 2 secrets, one southeast of 1, one northeast of 1. And that's going to be for the next purchase on your way to level 6. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. Here's jkoper. Ends up taking care of the dig dogger through the sword, the 1 bomb and sword technique. And he will head back to level 4 as well. So I'm going to be interested in seeing when jkoper does his touch-up and takes care of the manhandle in level 3. He may opt to do it right now, or he could opt to do it on his way to level 7, which is the last section of this run.
Yeah, I was thinking level 7 would probably be when we would see it, because you can whistle the 3 as part of that if you want. I mean, or you're not whistling the 3, but you can. It's the closest in proximity dungeon to level 7, and you know, who doesn't want to go in there and fight manhandle with the magic sword?
You'll give him the business at that point. RandomEffekt about to pick up this bow out of level 1, cruising pretty well on this first game of the best of 3 between RandomEffekt and jkoper.
Yeah, the choice to run 100% first certainly appears to be paying dividends thus far for Random, but we are still within that standard deviation of 1 death in level 9. Now, that death would have to take place early on in level 9, most likely, because there is, as part of 100%, they will be picking up the red ring, and not a lot of deaths take place in level 9 at this level of play once you have the red ring.
So RandomEffekt is killing a couple of extra gels, and this is because he's trying to set himself up for a bomb drop right there. Picks it up pretty nice, gets himself up to 9 bombs, now to face off against Aquamentus.
Yeah, the fresh maker, and he got a couple of extra rupees while he was at it too, so win-win.
So RandomEffekt's done with level 1. Next stop on this journey is going to be to head on over towards level 6. And I was incorrect here. We're not going to get the bait just now, but we are still going to make a purchase. It's going to be to get some arrows on the way to level 6. That's why you need the 80 rupees at this point. I was thinking this is where we get the bait, but we get the bait on the way to level 8.
Yeah.
Or after level 8, rather.
But, yeah, RandomEffekt picking up the arrows there, and then he's going to pick up another item on this next screen. and then we'll never see it again.
Just like we're going to be picking up an item in level 6 that, well, we are going to see again in the next category. But we're not going to see it in the third category if that race does come to happen. RandomEffekt picking up the magical sword. That's going to definitely help him out with level 6 coming up next as jkoper grabs his Triforce. He is done. But he's going to have to grab the 30 secret northeast to 1 on his way to getting to the arrows and the power bracelet.
So, with jkoper at 11 hearts, I'm wondering if now is the time to go to level 3 so he doesn't have to do the magical sword. So he gets the magical sword.
Yes, yes. That is right.
Oh! Yep. Quintuple fairies for RandomEffekt. I know that's not what he wanted, but it's what we wanted.
Well, that looks pretty for RandomEffekt, but yep, jkoper's going to have to do this level 3 at this point. It's because you need 12 hearts to pick up that magical sword that RandomEffekt has, and doing level 6 with the wood sword, well, it's to say that this room would be a nightmare.
Yeah, there's a totally separate category for that, that we will not see here in this tournament.
Insane.
And soon to be the world record, probably.
Probably. So RandomEffekt now is going to head to the north. That is because we have to pick up the wand in this category for the 100%. You're not really going to see the wand used all that much here. We're going to see it coming up in the next category a lot more. But it involves having to deal with this room with the blue whiz robes. Go ahead, take care of them. Beam Swords makes this room very easy for RandomEffekt. Beautiful work. As jkoper gets his Triforce out of level 3, that man handled it, didn't stand a chance.
He put up a fight, but it just wasn't happening with 7 bombs and more health. RandomEffekt, on the other hand, making that wand pickup look easy. Newsflash, it's not. And the walk back from picking it up is no simpler.
So jkoper now is going to record his way over to level 1. Gets a nice little love tap from that Octorok, which I'm sure jkoper really did love.
Free bombs.
Yeah, RandomEffekt leaving the bombs behind right there, but that's only because that would have been 1 bomb. That's really worth the time of that point.
Yeah, and that would have been a super efficient magical brunch, if you will, room, if those like-likes hadn't strayed so far away from each other, but still done efficiently and safely, which is really what RandomEffekt needs to be in the business of right now.
And that right there is why those bombs did not matter, because there he had 2 drops of bombs in that room. Now time to use the arrow. It's not the only time we're going to see this arrow pulled out for RandomEffekt. Six is done for RandomEffekt, and jkoper 1 dungeon behind.
Yep. Picking up the magical sword at the same time RandomEffekt's picking up the Triforce, that's a pretty easy comparison to make, you know, in terms of the time situation, although jkoper's got to run over and pick up those arrows first as well.
So we're gonna see these 2 runners. They're gonna use the power. They're gonna use the power bracelet here. jkoper for getting the arrows.
Yeah.
Those.
I know jkoper is going to be disappointed with himself in this run. That's a couple of lapses of judgment that, you know, the death in 3 is one thing, but he's not going to be pleased with those mental errors that is costing him precious time when he's already behind.
So RandomEffekt grabbing this 100 secrets because of the purchase we'll be making once we get things wrapped up in level 8. Speaking of heading to level 8, faster way to get there is by HUD clipping, and that's exactly what RandomEffekt is doing right there.
Yes. When scoring these tournaments, swag must be taken into consideration, my friends.
Now, in level 8, we are going to be seeing a manhandler that really is a pain to deal with because it spawns right there on the left-hand side. And the reason why we're going to kill that manhandler is because we got to get into this room. It's the only time you're going to see this room in this pairing is because we got to grab this thing. What is that thing? Why are we at the library?
Yeah. Link decided to check a book out to make his wand worthless. So, yeah, that's like the double slap in the face, though, really, of that manhandler, is you gotta deal with the sideways spawning manhandler on the other side of the room with fireballs in the middle, and it's all so that you can pick up the book, which is an item not only that you're not going to use, but it makes you not like one of the better items you've picked up so far.
And that really is one of the reasons why you don't see the runners use that item at all, is because of the flames that get sent out when you try to use your wand. Now, I like the strategy here by RandomEffekt. He's getting hit in this room, but he's getting hit by the fireballs. 1/2 of a heart versus getting hit for 2 hearts damage.
Yeah, always a winner. You know, sometimes taking damage in the name of going fast is slightly unavoidable. Make sure the right thing's hitting you. Also, just be RandomEffekt. Those dodges, man. Close quarters combat. Big Boss would have been proud.
Unfortunately, he would have had full health if he didn't get bopped a couple of times trying to deal with that final Dark Nut. Now here is Goma. Now this thing takes 3 arrows to kill. If you one-cycle it, you're a god, but this Goma did not allow him to do it. So RandomEffekt, here he goes. He's going to go ahead and claim his any key. Somebody in chat was inquiring whether or not RandomEffekt would have to do that room with the blue dark nuts again. The answer is no, because he will not go the number of rooms that would trigger the respawn. It's 6 rooms that you go through to trigger the respawn. So he's going to come back to this room with the blue dark nuts, they'll be dead.
Thank God. Although there is, you know, some merit to only killing some of them and going ahead and heading towards the any key.
So now we head into the final rooms of this level 8, and for several of the categories of this game, level 8 would be your last destination before you go to level 9. It isn't for here, because that any key helps out with the final level that we go to before level 9.
Yeah. Cuts out a lot of annoying routing issues that otherwise would rear their ugly heads. As many ugly heads as that Gleok has, who, by the way, goes down without much of a fuss at this point in the game.
So before we head over to level 7, we're going to go ahead and torch this bush, pick up the better meat because it's 100 rupees.
I'm thinking Arby's.
Nice slab of roast beef. Can we get a curly fry to go with them?
I don't know if there's an item in this game that quite makes the curly fry cut. The Cane of Samaria might kind of be like an Arby's curly fry, though.
Maybe the power bracelet.
Yeah. That one's been fooded to death, though, so I didn't want to jump to there.
I mean, we could make the wooden boomerang it, but there's another name that we give it.
Yeah, all these food names. Plus, you know, I defy you to find such an item in this run.
Well, you're gonna win this battle. So we're gonna head to level 7. You see, RandomEffekt's gonna bomb here to this room to the left. It is because we had to go pick up the second of the bomb upgrades that will put RandomEffekt at 16 total bombs.
Yeah. Just when you thought, man, he's got arrows strats for days, now he's got to spend 100 rupees here.
jkoper, trying not to use another bomb at this point, tackles the manhandler.
Yeah.
Gets him down.
Yeah, he went. So yeah, he went up earlier and used a bomb in the room north of start in level 8. I'm not sure if he got it close enough to the wall or not, though. So that may have been why he was trying to conserve a bomb there.
That's also a possibility. So RandomEffekt is making his way through level 7. The reason we had to go pick up the meat is because everybody's favorite thing blocks in this level 7, Grumble Grumble.
Yep, not just a term that Fred Coughlin uses when someone breaks the randomizer. And yes, jkoper did in fact have to rebomb that wall.
Yeah, that puts him down to 5 bombs at this point. He's gonna have to spend 2 more of them in this level 8. He does get a bomb drop in the corridor staircase if he wants to clear out that room, but why would you want to clear out that room?
It's not the hardest room in the world, but you really don't want to take the time to do that if you can help it.
So we get the red candle here. Hey, we're never gonna use it again.
You don't know that.
You are right. I don't know that.
This Wallmaster room, you know, stranger things have happened. Oh, Goma being straight rude to jkoper.
Yeah, this is like what, a 3 or 4 cycle for jkoper.
I'm not sure if it's. I think it's a 3 cycle, but the sheer number of rupees he had to spend on it was unfortunate. A lot of misses on the Hail Marys. Well, RandomEffekt making an honest man out of you and going with arrows instead of the red candle.
Yeah, you might as well at this point. You got a whole bunch of them. As long as you save the one that you need for Ganon at the end.
Yeah, and don't find it, and don't accidentally pick up a clock.
And there it is, 16 total hearts for RandomEffekt. He is heading to level 9.
Yep. Man. His menus are quick, but I can't see any reason why he wouldn't have everything that is required in his inventory, minus the red ring and silver arrows.
Yep, and those 2 are the items we'll be picking up coming up in just a few moments as jkoper. This run has just not gone his way whatsoever.
Yeah. He's getting to that point where he knows, his chances are starting to run out. RandomEffekt has full health and 15 bombs. Something's got to happen. Either a death or a lot of life taken out of RandomEffekt before he gets to that red ring. Or else it's probably curtains for jkoper's run here.
Right. Don't forget, this is the best 2 out of 3. Race number 2 will be Soar This. I'll be coming up right after we say our goodbyes for race 1 here. So we don't have to deal with this double river room that you would see them do in any percent. That's because we have the ending. So the big difference in this level 9 is that we have to instead... Oh, the Wizrobe tried! Nice dodge by RandomEffekt.
Yep. Some nice anticipation there by Random. Saved him a couple of hearts on the walk to the red ring, which is nice because there's a lot of really obnoxious enemies on your way.
So now we head up here, spend a couple of bombs, go into this room, and head in to grab our red ring. And with 12 full hearts right now, RandomEffekt is pretty much not totally invincible, but he's going to feel like it at this stage.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we can't see the fractions going on there, but 12 full hearts would be equivalent to 48 hearts with the green tunic. And that's a lot. I mean, that's enough for just about anybody to be able to slob through to level 9.
And that's a good strat right there, is that you just gotta remember that the Patra hitbox doesn't take effect until he's fully expandable, so you can just walk right through him as we go into that infamous next room. And take a look at him just taking that damage right there. That, again, is the power of wearing the red ring. If you tried doing that and you were wearing your regular green tunic, you might start regretting your life choices.
It would never go as well.
That is for certain. So P2 coming up, and we get a beautiful Patra 2 skip for RandomEffekt. We'll see him on the way back through. And now time to deal with the reverse C room.
Yeah, it'll be a different kind of Patra 2 skip on the way back, where you just walk through him because you have the red ring.
It's no different than the P2 skip that we have in regular Persona. It's just only you lose a quarter, or rather a half of a heart as opposed to 2 hearts.
Exactly. You can afford it at this point for sure.
So RandomEffekt picking up the silver arrows, 35-27. So at his skill, we're going to see probably about a 37-20 if the remainder of this run goes RandomEffekt's way. I just had to say it.
Hey,
so
he put
there we
the
go.
Token effort there.
Right there. That's the reason why Shield is not a part of the 100% category. Right there. That like right there. If the magical shield was part of it, RandomEffekt would probably be saying a few 4-letter words if he were to take that shield away when he got depowered by that like.
Yeah. Total DFTG mode at that point. And if you saw on jkoper's side there, as if the game hadn't been hateful enough to him so far, first wall master in that reverse C room drops a clock.
Yeah, and he can't sword past it because if you touch that clock with your sword, you freeze the room. Patra 3 coming up for RandomEffekt, and he's going to fast Patra this thing because, well, you're wearing the red ring. Why not?
Hey.
Oh, beautiful.
He may have a huge lead, but he's still a speedrunner. Gotta go fast.
What did I say his finish time was going to be? Well, it's not going to be that time now that he got right side Ganon spawns.
But,
well, mark this one in the books. It's RandomEffekt's race to win.
Yep. As long as he, unless he got silly and just waited for jkoper for a while, which would have been a really hateful move, and Random's a cool dude. This one was all done. His clock says 37:28. I know that's not the official race time, but looking at his PB, which is 36:31, he was within a minute of PB. That's pretty good in a race for someone who is that high up the leaderboard.
So we're going to go ahead and reset things. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with race number 2. between RandomEffekt and jkoper. What category are we doing, Liquid Husband?
Well, we'll see a reset very early on if you go into that first cave on the start screen, because we are running the only category that does not require you to beat the game, of the big ones. That is swordless.
We'll be back in 2 minutes here on Speed Gaming.